when Martin Luther King made famous the statement, "I have a dream." And I think, hopefully, your very presence here indicates you've got a dream. So I just want to think together about some dreams. How to let your dreams come true. In the 37th Psalm and the 4th verse in the Living Bible, you find these words: "Be delighted with the Lord, then he will give you all your heart's desire." Be delighted with the Lord, be delighted with the Lord, then he will give you all your heart's desire. Edwin Markham once said that everything in which we glory was once a dream. Everyone has at least one basic dream, something you believe God has laid on your heart, something that has not yet come to pass, but which you fervently believe will happen one day. All great things are born in dreams. Art, music, architecture, family, relationships, even books. They all started with a hope, a glimmer in the eye, a desire in the heart. To the believer whose life is moved in the Spirit's control, the fulfillment of dreams is a profound venture. Some have already experienced the realization, the fulfillment of their dream. They're the happy ones. The Bible is filled with stories of happy people. These are people who, despite the hardships and sufferings, realize fulfillment and happiness in their dreams. Hannah was a mother without children who dreamed and prayed for a child. She was ridiculed not only by her husband Elkanah, but by the priest Eli. But her dream came true, and she gave the world Samuel. Ruth lost the husband of her youth and found herself in a strange land, forced to glean from the fields in order to live. But a desire for a husband to love was fulfilled by Boaz, and in that union produced people like Jesse and David, and finally the Messiah himself. The Apostle Paul, beaten, imprisoned, condemned to death, wrote back to his friend Timothy that not only had he fought a good fight, but all of his dreams had been fulfilled. He was a happy man. All great people have had their dreams, for dreams are the stuff of which life is made. Take the dreamers out of our civilization, and the entire structure of history tumbles to the ground. As my Father has sent me, even so send I you. That's difficult for us to grasp. For we've been conditioned to believe that if we do not bring a thing to pass in our own strength, it will not come to pass. But if we are the living, breathing, acting, loving extension of a man, Jesus Christ, in the world today, then the things he did, we can do also. His mission is now our mission. His dream, our dream. Remember, as my Father has sent me, even so send I you. There are two kinds of dreams. There are those we dream up ourselves, which are nearly always self-centered, and those God places in our heart. God gives each one of us a desire to accomplish his will, to fulfill the dreams he's placed in our heart, and the power to do it. But only the legitimate dreams are the ones that God places in our heart. However, when a Christian is doing that which he's called to do, that which he's gifted to do, there is a tremendous motivation and joy in his life. If we are privileged to do the very things that Christ did, remember, as my Father has sent me, even so send I you. To dream his dreams and see them fulfilled, then we must find out how he did what he did. For herein lies the secret of our own personal happiness. The best place to start is with the revelation that at the beginning of Jesus' personal ministry, he called 12 disciples and commissioned them and told them, "As you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand." Later in Matthew 28, he gave the final commission. "All power is given unto me in heaven and earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things I have commanded you, and lo, I'm with you always, even unto the end of the world." We are the expansion of Jesus' mission into the 20th century. And equally important, we're the fulfillment of the dream he's put in our hearts. "As my Father has sent me, even so send I you." How then can we let our dreams come true? As we reflect on several ideas, I'd share these. First, be willing to be misunderstood. Be willing to be misunderstood. Every dreamer is misunderstood by those who do not share his dream. If you have a dream, a vision, if your heart is set on something spiritual, and you believe with every fiber of your being that God is one day going to bring it to pass, then you're going to be misunderstood. The Josephs with a far-off look in their eyes always are a threat to women, men and women who are living for today alone. Even if you say nothing, the very fact that you have a dream will bring persecution. Martin Luther King's great sermon, "I Have a Dream," stirred more hatred than any sermon ever preached in this nation. He was cutting across the deepest values and traditions of white America. He dreamed of a time when black men would be addressed as Mr. rather than boy, and when black women would be treated with courtesy and respect on city buses, and when black children would no longer be called pickaninnies, when black people were not forced to drink from separate water fountains or use separate restrooms and could sleep in the same motel beds that were used by whites. He had a dream, and he died because he was misunderstood. Visionaries like those with a dream often have problems with the present. Living out there in the future, when the dream to them has already come to pass, often brings them head on with the bloody facts of the present. Sometimes more practical people have to take the dreamers by the hand and lead them as they stagger and bumble through life. Fortunate is a man who has friends around him, who has at least someone who loves him enough, even if they do not catch his vision or hear the sound of his drummer. Sometimes, like Joseph, the dreamer is misunderstood because he shares too much too soon. Dreamers are misunderstood because very few people, even those close to them, understand what they're saying. The best they can expect is that they will love you even though they don't understand you. Be willing to be misunderstood. Secondly, be willing to work. While dreams come true for Christians as well as those who are not Christians, all are commanded to work until the dreams are fulfilled. Paul is blunt in his word about the lazy Christians at Thessalonica, who seemed to think all they had to do was sit around and wait for manna to fall from heaven, or perhaps just let the church feed them. The man who works with his hands, who labors by the sweat of his brow, opens up avenues for God to speak to him, avenues that never have opened, will open to the lazy Christian. If you want your dreams to come true, you have to work. You have to do things. You have to sweat with your brow, walk the second mile, innovate. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might, and your dreams will come true. Not because you worked and brought them into being, but because God honors the worker and will bless accordingly. Thirdly, be willing for that dream to come to pass through somebody else. That's the hardest thing, isn't it? Be willing for that dream to come to pass through somebody else. David thought his dream of a magnificent temple would come true through him. But God had another plan, and the dream came true through his son Solomon. Moses dreamed of a promised land and led his people to the mountain. where they could look across and see the green valley of Jericho in the distance. But it was up to Joshua, who was like a son to Moses, to lead the people into Canaan. Paul dreamed of Spain and wound up in a Roman prison. Martin Luther King dreamed of a society without prejudice and is killed by an assassin's bullet. The dreams live beyond the man, for the dream that comes from the heart of God are always bigger than the dreamers and bigger than those who try to stop them. We're the continuing fulfillment of their dream, just as we're the fulfillment of Jesus' dream. As the Father hath sent me, even so send I you. So the question remains for all of us: can we release even our dreams to God? Can we let them come to pass in His time and in His way? It's a venture we shouldn't miss.